Hello.
Hello.
Hello, buddy.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Oh, happy Valentine's Day to you. The day when we celebrate female friendship.
Aw.
We've been friends for so long now.
Yeah. December 20. When did we really
No,
start being
like
like
like end of
se-
2020, beginning of 2021.
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Yeah, cuz it was when I started making political videos.
Oh, damn.
And you streamed
Yeah.
and I was in your chat and
Yeah.
I was so excited to talk to you in your chat that I was,
So
getting up and, pacing around while you were streaming because I was like, "Oh my god, this is so exciting!"
Oh my God. Well, look at us now.
I know.
We're the best. Wow, I guess time really flies, doesn't it?
Well, I would say time actually moves kind of weird when you're on YouTube because,
Mm,
things happen and I don't know. Yeah, it feels like 3 years ago was a really long time ago to
it
me.
does.
In the sense of a lot has happened, I feel like,
Mm-hmm.
in my YouTube world
Same.
journey. Yeah. Hey, Joan of Arc, enlightened
She's supposed to
female.
be on holiday right now, Joan is.
Okay. Um, Irene, Zeze, Ruza, Nurse Rowe, future NP, Ice Goddess, Tori, Expired Milk.
Strawberries here.
Oh, let's get the whole crew here.
I know. It's
Because
perfect.
everyone wants to find love. Lily's here. Everyone wants to find love and romance.
Everyone does, I'm
Their
sure.
their dream guy is out there.
Well, I don't know about
Where?
for me.
You don't think your dream guy's out there? Radical, your dream guy is out there.
One day might happen. You never know. That's what they say, anyway.
You might change your mind.
Yeah, might change my mind.
You just haven't found the right one yet.
Right. Well, thankfully tonight I'm going to learn how to do that.
Well, I'm really excited about that. Um, Hi, Endeavor. Well,
Hello.
we have a few little articles we thought we would take a gander at.
See what we can learn.
See what we can learn about how to find our dream guys. I'm thinking of that joke, they call it the American dream because you have to be asleep to believe it. Is that why they're called dream
Extremely true.
guys too?
Must be.
Mhm. Oh.
Amazing, enlightened female. Amazing.
Ice Goddess got my reference, George Carlin.
George
Good, good,
Carlin.
good. We gotta channel our inner femininity, our inner feminine
Divine
goddesses.
goddess.
The divine goddess in all of us will attract that man.
Mm-hmm. The yin to our yang.
Yes. Exactly.
The divine masculine.
Exactly. There is a role that women fill, right? And
Mm-hmm.
men fill a complementary role.
Right, separate but equal.
Oh, always. Always.
I
Please
love
teach
us.
me how to find the love of my life. I love us too. That's what this Galentine's Day is about. But
Mm-hmm.
Galentine's Day is February 13th, but Valentine's Day is February 14th, which means we have less than 4 hours on the East Coast to find that dream guy.
Better get to it.
Yeah, you have a little extra time.
Yeah.
You have a couple extra
That's
hours.
a
So
few
and you
hours.
need it too.
I do.
'Cause you have
I'm
a
in
lot of
dire straits over here.
you have a lot of years to catch up, but you have not been looking for your dream guy. So, um, you have a lot of catching up to do.
Mhm.
All right, I didn't even prepare yet. Let's see what we got. Chrome tab. Let's start with this one. Oh
Oh,
boy.
Irene asked a great question in the chat.
Irene, what
What
if
if
I
I found
found
the
the
love
love
of
of
my
my
life?
life, but she's a woman? Ugh. The Is that a thing? Like, how does that even work? I've never heard of that before. What do you mean, a woman?
Don't you
The
know
love of
that
your
men
life
and
is
women were
going to be a
created for
man.
each other?
Yes, exactly. Yin to yang, right?
Mhm. Oh.
All right. So we got our first article here. You can keep an eye on the chat because I'm going to be looking at this. Does this look okay?
Yep,
Okay. How to
it
make
sure do.
dating suck less. Expert approved advice that'll help you rethink romance. This was, I think, the most cynically titled of the
Mhm.
articles that we were looking at. So, popular opinion would suggest that budding romance in an always connected app forward culture is, well, a mess. Would you agree with that?
Probably.
Do you feel like dating apps and stuff, it's like people ordering food on an app or something. They just think they're
Oh,
gonna, like, click a button or, like, whatever,
right.
touch their phone and, like, their dream thing is gonna appear,
Yeah,
and
that's
it's
not
gonna
how
be
it works.
easy. It's just not how
It's like
it
shopping.
works at all.
Ugh.
Um, Joan of Arc says yin and yang instead of masculine, feminine intrigues me. I kind of agree.
Mhm.
Endeavor says, I honestly sympathize with straight women. Even just hearing my friends' experiences with dating men stresses me out.
Me too.
I don't even like, con- it's like, it never crosses my mind, like, what lesbian relationships would be like. But then I
Mhm.
guess if I think about it, it's like, I guess it would be there. I mean, there are like fundamental levels on which it would be less stressful. Like, you're not going to be
Mhm.
dating someone who can like physically K word you, you know,
Yeah, for sure.
with their bare hands.
Yes.
Like, it'd be a fair fight.
Fair fight.
Not that women are usually motivated to K word other people, but you know what I
Right.
mean.
Mhm.
Like, no, the one thing I have thought about this in the past though, it's like being a lesbian. I'm just
Uh-huh.
totally speaking out of turn here because obviously this is not my realm, but it's your realm, so whatever. Um,
Uh-huh.
that like there is something that seems really nice and kind of special about it is that you get to date someone who has gone through the world, seeing the world the way you see it, like
Yes.
experiencing things as you've seen it. They have a similar body, they have the same reproductive system. So it's like
Yeah.
those are really fundamental things, and as a hetero person, like, you're always gonna be dating someone who really cannot understand you, they
Yeah.
cannot understand your worldview. At best, they could, like, empathize with it, but they're not really gonna, like, get what it's like. They'll never get what it's like to be a woman, right? Like, a man will never understand what it's like to be a
Yeah,
woman.
for sure. Like they can empathize, maybe, but they'll
Yes.
never understand or know.
No, and, like, how much women risk by putting themselves out there and stuff like that, and
Mhm.
whereas, like, in a lesbian relationship, it's just like you're meeting as equals from the
Yeah.
beginning. There isn't that, like, high-low dynamic or anything
Mhm. Or
that you
like, yeah, not knowing how it's gonna be or how it should be or whatever.
Yeah. Like, I'm sure lesbian relationships still have, like, maybe power issues or whatever, like,
Yeah.
it's not like they don't have issues. Obviously, they do, like any relationship,
Mhm.
but
But
they don't
just
have
on like a a
Yeah.
class level, like you're both women. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Like, they don't have those issues that a hetero
Mm-hmm.
relationship, like, innately has. Um, yeah. Useless says, oops, Useless says, "Now you making me giddy to go find a wife, but where?" And Zay says, "If I don't want a salad, I'm not getting the salad." Sounds like a salad hater.
I had a salad for lunch today
That's great. You
that
had
used with my chowder.
did you have a lettuce-free salad?
Yes.
That's totally dominant.
That's
Okay,
great.
let's see what else this article, if we can gain anything from it. We have a few different little things to skim here
Mm-hmm.
that might just be jumping off points for conversation rather than
Like, yeah,
like
reading.
yeah. So here's one piece of advice: don't rely on only one form of dating to try to meet someone. Now, we should preface this by like, can we have a real conversation about this? Because like, um, I'm you just literally made a video about separatism,
Uh-huh.
and I'm a woman going my own way,
Mm-hmm.
and um, like, I don't believe in dating at all.
Right, like what's it gonna get you?
Yeah, I feel like I've felt just so much more. I think the word is peaceful.
Mm,
And that word like does come up so much when, you read comments from women who have gone their own way, or like, especially I've read a lot of stuff from women who went through a divorce when they were, say, like in their 40s, and now they're in their 50s, and they're like, I haven't even tried to date since I got divorced, and my life as a single woman is just so much
uh-huh.
more peaceful. I have all my
Mm-hmm.
time to myself. And
Yep.
so it's like, yeah, I don't know like where this conversation is going to go, because it's like something like, don't rely on only one form of dating to try to meet someone, is it probably is pretty good advice if you were trying to date.
Mm-hmm.
Um Online dating just,
Seems like a mess.
I think it's, yeah, I would say it's not now. Maybe, I don't know, 15 years ago when things were a little more like innocent or something, but
Right. Like before like the swipe apps, like when it was like
yes.
eHarmony or like Match or whatever the heck,
I
where
think
it
there
seemed
were,
like there was a level of intention behind it. But now with
yeah,
like the swipe apps, it's just like window shopping.
exactly. And like men, I think even back in the day, they would even read your profile. Like, people
Right.
had such elaborate profiles, and there was a lot of like, people would put a lot of effort
Yeah,
into,
thought, intention.
yeah. And now, people are like doctoring up their photos, Photoshop
Right.
or AI or filters or whatever. And yeah, you just see a photo and the name and the age, and you swipe.
Woof.
That's so like, I could see if it really lends itself to like the commodification of
Mm.
women, right? Because
Ugh.
men, I think, I'm gonna make a generalization about men. So, not all men, but whatever. Um, Women are objectified in our society, like,
Mm,
no doubt, right?
for sure.
So to have an app where it's just a menu of women,
Ugh.
it doesn't really,
It doesn't bode well for women at all.
no, not for
And
women's
especially,
like humanity.
no. And especially because we know that, like, again, men don't look at profiles. They don't care what your name is. They don't care what your interests are. They're just primarily swiping yes on every single profile, hoping that one of them will allow him to fuck her.
Yes. Yes.
Like,
It's
it's
true.
awful.
It's very true. Let's see. Enlightened Female says it's yet
Mhm.
another form of objectification that women face. Men are able to shop for and possibly buy women using these apps. It's fueling the control they want over us.
Ugh.
Um, Definitely. And like I said, I think there was more of an organicness or innocence to it, like maybe 15 years ago when
Yep.
people actually were more invested in the profile, and I think there were fewer people on it,
Yep.
and yet it was a little more innocent or organic or something. Yeah, let's see. Expired says back in the day on nerd websites, couples would form sometimes over long distances, but when online nerddom expanded to everyone else, even the concept of social media was very different.
Completely.
I Out of my last like 4 relationships,
Mhm.
I think I met, um, 3 of them because of the internet, not on dating sites.
I my last long-term relationship met on the internet, not on dating
Yeah.
sites.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, the one thing about the internet is you can find people who are, like, um, have really similar interests to
Yeah,
you,
exactly.
that, like, it's gonna be kinda hard to find those really specific people
Yep.
in real life, but I would still say, like, okay, hypothetically, if I was recommending anyone try to pursue a relationship, which I'm not, then I would say meeting someone in person or through friends. I don't know. Again, like, I cannot in good conscious or earnestly actually recommend relationships to anyone. I don't even know why are we having this conversation because I thought it would be funny, but, like but, if you had to compare online versus in person, yeah, of
Yeah,
course. Meeting people
in
in real
person.
life,
Mhm.
getting to know your super connector contacts to set you up.
Ugh.
Ugh, I just still, like, fundamentally don't believe in any of it because I really think in relationships, women, again, gonna generalize, but they put in so much more effort
Big
and they
time.
get so much less out of it.
Big time.
And
You know,
that's
this
yeah.
Go ahead. Oh,
No, you
this
go
just
ahead.
reminds me, like, I have, yeah, like, a friend, who is in a relationship with a man, and, like, she was texting me all about, like, everything she's doing for Valentine's Day, and she's, like, putting a basket together for him with, like, gift cards to his favorite restaurant and some of his favorite snacks and blah, 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 and I'm like, "You're gonna be lucky if he buys you, like, a box of chocolates." Like, she's
Ugh.
going to this effort of, like, all his favorite things, and I'm like, "He's not even gonna, like, get you candy," and you're gonna be like,
Mm.
"Okay." Ugh.
Yeah, I mean, women the fundamental thing is we risk, on a bodily level
Uh-huh.
in multiple ways. We risk the, potential for MV or
Mhm.
DV, in the fact that we're smaller and men are stronger, and there's even in the kindest, gentlest relationship, that dynamic never goes away.
No.
And I think
It's
women
inbuilt.
yeah, women bear that burden on, like, even a subconscious cellular level, knowing that they're alone in a house with a person who's stronger than them or whatever. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Um, and that's, like, one level that women, they're totally disadvantaged physically, but then also in the reproductive process, and I don't mean even if you choose to not get pregnant, but, like, men risk nothing.
Literally nothing at all.
Right.
Nothing. There's no, like there's, like, no bad consequences or possible outcomes.
Right. Ice says women are just statistically more in danger living with a man.
Yep. And that danger significantly increases if she gets pregnant.
Yep. Number one threat to a woman's life is a man. The most dangerous place a man can be is in your
Yes.
house. Yet we're supposed to see them as our protectors, which is so
I know.
wild.
Oh my gosh. I actually saw recently like some discussion about like separatism and stuff on radical feminist Twitter. And um the response from men is always like, "Well, then who's going to protect you?" And it's like, "From who?"
Yes, exactly. Exactly. That comes up a lot.
A
That comes up a
lot.
lot. And, I do feel like women are there's so many more conversations now than there used to be about
Mhm.
I've been binging this channel, Cecilia Regina, I think it is, and she's pretty big on TikTok. I
Mm.
actually even went to TikTok to watch
Oh,
her TikToks. That was like I never ever 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 go on there, but I was like, "This girl is so good." Woman, I should say. Um, and she does a lot of stuff about, like, it's almost like FDS style stuff. It's critiquing relationships, and she talks about how marriage, especially, it has no inherent benefit to women. It has no inherent value getting married. It's really true.
probably the only thing I could think of that could be a benefit is if there were a divorce, she may be entitled to his assets. But like,
Yeah, but it's like everything you have to go through in the
yeah, it's not
meantime.
worth it for sure. But
Yeah, it's like you always hear people it's just that's not a good way to make money, like
no, no.
Um, yeah, okay, so let's see what else we got. Take it slow, but not too slow. Don't linger online waiting for some magical insight to appear. If the person seems to have potential, get into a face-to-face context and start talking and sharing time together. I've read so many women, they they like, this is a disconnect that men and women have because men will
Mm,
pressure women to meet immediately
yep,
from the internet, and I
yep.
kind of get that because I've met people from the internet. I've met people from the internet that I talked to for a really long time, and
Yes.
then when you meet them, your
You're like,
expectation of them is so disconnected from the reality,
mm-mm.
it's, like, really, really awkward.
Yep.
But I understand why women wanna, like, prolong that because it's from a safety standpoint, is it, like, safe to just meet someone that you literally just started talking to? Like, it's not.
Yeah, and certainly, like, if you're going to, it should absolutely be in a public place.
Oh, well, yeah, obviously.
But yeah,
Yes, I will not we could turn this into, like, horror stories hour, but
no thanks.
I did meet a guy online, offline, whatever, um, and I talked to him one day, and then the next day, I went to his house.
Lisa.
And this is before I knew anything. I was
Yeah.
not that young, though. I think I was, like, 33 or something. But that is I look back on things like that, and I'm just like, "I just got lucky." It was, like, not any, like I didn't do anything right. I didn't do anything intelligently. I just purely, like, got lucky.
Yeah. Woof.
I went to some dude's house I didn't know. Like, he knew people that I knew, like, friends of friends.
Mhm.
So I was like, "Oh, this guy's safe." And then I went over to his house and he was, like, into, he was into, like, BDSM,
Oh boy.
and he was, like literally first time I met this guy, he was like, "Oh, man, I wanna, like, tie you up."
Ah!
I was like, "I'm going, bye."
Goodbye. Good for you.
And it was funny
Holy.
because he actually was, like okay, no, I can't even say it. I was gonna say, like, he actually was a nice person, but, like,
Right.
he was into weird stuff. And I was
Yeah.
just like,
I mean, you
um
don't suspect nice people are into weird stuff, and then they are.
but it's also yeah, true. But it's also like that is kind of how men are. Like, I will make that generalization because that has been a very consistent
Hmm.
experience of mine, is that it's like, okay, I'm not gonna ever let any guy tie me up, right? But, like, guys will be so forward in what they want and think that you
Ugh.
just like
Go along with it.
Yeah, without any like build
Like
up
they have
to
no
it.
shame about it.
Yeah, it's like they just come right out. And it's like maybe if like this had followed a longer timeline or something, I would be more receptive to the things you're suggesting. But you can't just like, do you know what I'm saying? Maybe you
Ugh,
don't. But I have had that experience many, many times where a man's just like almost like apropos of nothing,
right.
you
Yeah.
know?
Hmm.
It's like
Like have
that
some
is very.
couth.
Yes, exactly. It's, like, very dehumanizing to just be like,
Yeah.
I'm not just, like, a an object
A
on
thing.
which to, like, you know, project
Project
your
your ideas. Yeah.
fantasy or something, yeah. Uh, anyways,
Woof.
a little too personal there.
No, no.
Um, it is the Valentine's Day stream, so I guess we're going there. Let's see. Don't be impatient. Sometimes very high quality and lasting relationships can take off slowly and have a number of false starts and missteps. How about the idea that like if you're talking to some guy online, he is literally
Uh-huh.
talking to like 12
10
other.
others. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big
And you're
time.
probably talking to one guy,
Yep.
maybe two.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, honestly, I plug it all the time, but look up your local Are We Dating the Same Guy Facebook group because you will learn about the men in your community and what they're up to. And so many of the posts are like, um, talking to this guy, just wondering if anyone else is talking to him. And there's like 40 comments of women being like, yep, went on a date last week. And I'm like, woof.
Yeah, I think because another generalization, apologize for people who don't like those, but um men do view relationships as a commodity. They're looking for what they can get out of it.
Yes.
So, which goes right along with having a lot of irons in the fire, like
Hmm.
you're a man is out there texting 12 different girls and they're cultivating each of these things. It's like planting seeds and watering them or something. And some may
Uh-huh.
like grow to fruition or whatever. Women don't see relationships like that at all,
Right.
you know?
Yep. Ugh, that's sad.
Irene says, "What's going on with the stream? I thought we were
Oh,
supposed to be finding our dream guy."
whoops. Sorry. Back to our regular scheduled programming.
Uh, FDS suggests to date multiple men, so that's kind of an even playing field. What do you think about that, Radical?
um,
What do you think about the idea of like women like like slut shaming and stuff, right? Men
yeah.
are expected to be promiscuous, but then when women do it, they are shamed for doing it.
So I think in an ideal world in which patriarchy and misogyny and male violence didn't exist, like whatever, knock your socks off. But I think for your own safety and protection, it's really
I
dangerous.
agree.
And it's not like it has nothing to do with the character of the woman.
Completely not at all. It's
It's
just like your own
dangerous and scary.
self-preservation.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bye, Joan.
Hi,
Thank you for
Joan. Yeah,
coming.
it's bedtime for her. Way past her bedtime.
Oh, more opportunities to run into a Ted Bundy. Jump on it, ladies.
Ooh, yikes.
Useless.
Scary.
Why even risk one guy?
I
Well,
mean, I
that's the
agree.
thing. I think I see everything. You have known me for a long time. I'm very
Uh-huh.
logical
Uh-huh.
and I like look at everything like a formula.
Yeah.
I have a degree in economics and I look at everything like cost benefit.
Mm-hmm.
What am I putting in? What am I getting out? Like if you're putting in more than you're getting out, and putting in
So much
includes
more.
risking.
Mm-hmm.
Risk is something that you put in. It's not just the time you spent to get ready and
Yeah, and it's not like a 50-50 risk where it's like, it could go either way. Like, it's
It's
a
pretty high.
significant risk.
Yeah, I think the oh gosh, I don't have any stats handy, but I think 40% of women will experience DV in their
Oh, that's
lifetime in the
huge.
US. I think in other countries it's higher.
Mhm.
Um, but yeah, it's
That's a
pretty
big number.
it's a really high number, yeah, for sure. Let's see. Prioritize your dating life as much as your work life. Whoa, I'm gonna say no.
Me too.
Are, like, men putting in that much work? I don't think this article is necessarily supposed to be, like, gendered or whatever. This is for everybody.
Mhm.
Prioritize your dating life as much as your work life. Eh. Let's see. Let your 20s be for discovery. I
I
feel like
mean,
yeah, go ahead.
that's fairly sound, like, don't lock yourself down in your 20s.
Oh, definitely not. Expired. Does dating give me health insurance? I guess if you do it right. Um, Men literally put the bare minimum, so I would do the same. Why just your 20s? I agree. Sloan says,
Oh,
"My
woof.
therapist was pushing me to date men even though I was there due to a traumatic experience with a man." Well, I think that's oh
That's
my gosh,
awful.
actually, that's a great point because so often women get out of, like, a totally traumatic breakup and
Mhm.
stuff, and instead of fully processing it or even, like, being, um, just being single for a while and getting to experience that, they just go right back into it. I mean, I've done that, like
Yeah.
and
Get
people will
back right on
tell
the
you
horse.
yeah, because that's the thing, you're not like, it's often, like, you're not gonna get over that guy until you meet the
Until
next
yeah,
one,
yeah, yeah.
and, like, if that's a year or 2 years, then you're gonna be, like, thinking about your ex-boyfriend for 2 years. That sucks, that's no fun. So, like, the
Mhm.
sooner you can start meeting new guys and dating guys and stuff, like, that you'll get over this trauma. But I swear to God, all it does is just layer one trauma over another because you
Big
never, like,
time.
really take time to process it. Oh, man. It's like a woman's romantic life is the most important thing in her life. Women
Uh-huh.
want us to be obsessed about men. I think whenever society is telling you to be like, if society has to give you this message to be obsessed with men or whatever, just think about it. That means that it's like propaganda. You wouldn't naturally go for that thing. You have to be pressured into it.
Right. Yeah.
Without that pressure, you're, like, not gonna go for it. So anytime you're getting a big overarching message like that from the society you're living in, you have to
Red flag.
question it. Yeah, it's definitely a red flag. Is this coming from me and what I really want and what's truly in my best interest, or is this coming from someone else and, like, what their best interests
Yeah.
are?
Or what I feel like I should be doing.
Yeah, and why do we feel like we should be doing that? Because
Right.
it's gonna ultimately make some already wealthy white man even wealthier
Mhm.
by,
Oh,
it's
great
all
comment
about
from
yeah.
sorry.
No, go
Great
ahead.
comment from Tori in the chat. What's crazy is that the propaganda is what women think they can achieve if they find the right guy. They're chasing a fantasy. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
propaganda is very successful.
What's crazy is that the propaganda is what women think they can achieve. Oh, okay, so, like, that
So, like the
dream,
storybook ending.
the storybook ending. Why does the fairy tale always end with the marriage?
Uh-huh. She's
You
locked
know?
down forever.
Like,
Yeah,
yeah, but
like
that's
that's
where
the
it
an ultimate
ends,
goal.
It's like it doesn't right, and I think that does happen to women, they're like, because 'cause I've heard that many times, "Oh, I put so much into the wedding, and I was anticipating the wedding for, like, a year and a half and doing all the prep, and then once we were married, and there
Yeah.
wasn't
Well,
this wedding to look forward to anymore. It was just totally
yes.
different, and then it was like,
That's the
"Oh,
thing,
ugh."
is, like, all of the focus is on the wedding, not on the
Mhm,
marriage. It's only about that one day, not about the rest of your life. It's so
mhm.
crazy.
This is another great comment too, finding the one and being the perfect woman achieves that.
Yeah,
That's a huge reason of why I stopped dating was I just felt so much pressure always continuously to be quote unquote perfect, which doesn't exist, and putting that pressure on
mhm.
yourself to be perfect all the time is, like,
Never gonna
hellish.
happen. Yep.
Yeah. Alright, let's see what else we got. Use dates as an opportunity to connect with someone, no strings attached? Who the hell does that benefit? So that's, like, one thing where, if you get to, like, FDS or whatever, it's like women,
Uh-huh.
if you are going to do this, which again, I don't suggest, know your worth.
Right.
I mean, is that's sort of like I don't know what the, like, um, second wave feminists, like, said about again, we were just talking a little earlier about that, like, promiscuity and whatever.
Right.
I just don't
Eh
like that no strings attached is just creepy as hell to me. I mean, obviously, that
yeah,
works
like,
for men.
of course, I wonder, like yeah, I don't again, I don't know what women get out of it because the risk of STIs and pregnancy is immense, but also, like, women don't even get off during sex with men for the most part. The majority of women don't even have an orgasm during sex with men. So, like, what are you getting? Like, why are you doing
Well,
this?
also the idea of no strings attached, I feel like I've talked about this in a video in the far past, but it doesn't work on a hormonal level because when men have sex,
Mhm.
their body releases, like, dopamine and testosterone,
Yeah.
and that stimulates the man to actually wanna have more sex with other women.
Right.
Because that's how a man has the best chance of, um, like, spreading his DNA, is to have sex with lots of different women. Because if he monopolizes one woman, it's gonna be for 9 months, you know what I mean? Like,
Mhm.
the more women a man can have sex with, the better chance he has of carrying on his lineage or whatever.
Right.
Um, so hormonally, men produce testosterone and dopamine, but women produce, like, oxytocin,
Oxytocin,
and
bonding
that
hormone.
and that bonds them to a man. So even if you have, like, a one night stand with a man, that oxytocin is
Yeah,
flowing.
and people always think, like, when you talk about this, like, they'll say, like, you're just, stereotyping women as needy or whatever, and it's like, no, like, literally, that is what is happening in the brain. It's not
Absolutely.
controllable. The brain is doing it. Like,
Yes.
it has nothing to do with a woman being needy or, like, it just drives me crazy.
Right. I mean, it's like, yeah, maybe that stereotype comes from a misunderstanding of what is happening, like,
Mhm.
on a hormonal level.
Yeah, it just seems like, yeah, it's setting women up for so much hurt.
Yes, there's quite literally a hormonal and emotional gap between men and women.
Right, like, are men even, like I mean, I don't know if this is a super general thing to say, but, like, are men even really, like, capable of, like, meeting that emotional gap for women? Like, I don't know.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean,
Well, and then I guess further to that, why are why is that being pursued specifically with one man when it could be fulfilled in your interpersonal connection with your mother and your sisters and your friends and your female relatives and like you can have those emotional needs met on so many like so much more accessibly with so many women in your life. And for some reason it's all placed on one man who like biologically might not even be able to be capable of it.
well, can we talk about, the fact that a lot of women want a baby,
Mhm.
and 81% of American women have babies. So
Uh-huh.
it's 4 out of 5. Like, and the other 19%, most of them want a baby.
Right.
That's a statistical fact. To not even want one is really rare.
Yeah.
And your relationship with your mother and your sisters and your girlfriends is wonderful, but they can't give you a baby, and a lot of women do want that, and I know you don't
Yeah.
understand that, and I don't understand that on a ourselves level, 'cause
Mhm.
I don't want a baby, that's the last thing I would want in my life.
Yeah, but I mean, a baby can be achieved on a physical level without attaching yourself to that man. Like, you can still get
I
pregnant, but to have that or to want that man to fulfill that emotional need for you, I don't know.
Oh, okay. Interesting, so, like, if women saw men the way we think men see women, that a more of a utilitarian, this this person fills, like, a need for me.
Yeah.
Like, the need that women fulfill for men are is, like, I feel like we when we have this conversation, it does end up sounding so, like, red pilled,
I know, but
but, like, it
I kinda feel that way.
I mean, like, you and I have talked about this idea of black pill feminism before, but it's really not that different. It is actually, I think, in a lot of ways, getting to, like, a more fundamental, like, root of feminism, like, that there is a biological basis for our oppression.
Mhm.
That is what radical feminism is, right? It's like
Yeah.
saying the root of our oppression is a
Well,
biological basis, and it's third wave feminism that really rejected that idea and was like, "Oh, well, it's actually just society or whatever."
can
Or
I
I don't even know. Yeah.
slightly rephrase
Yes.
that in that
Yes.
there's a biological root for why we are oppressed, but not for our oppression.
Okay. And I go a little further and
Yeah.
say that it's really both, like, I do think that we are oppressed by our
Mm.
bodies based on my own experience with my
Mm.
totally garbage reproductive system,
Yeah.
um, and just having a hormonal cycle every month that yeah, like, I feel like even if men didn't exist, I would still feel oppressed by that, but I always frame it as, like, the way that hot weather is oppressive. It's
Right.
not like an oppression of one group
It's
over
not yeah.
another. It's just more in the sense of the word oppression that it's like, it sucks and it makes me uncomfortable, you
Mhm,
know?
mhm. Yep, 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 I hear you.
There's also oppression, yeah, in, like, that we're dominated because of the fact that
Our biological reality.
yeah.
Yeah.
Am I on fire with spicy takes? I don't know, man.
No,
I
Lisa, you're
actually don't even feel
great.
like this has been that spicy
No,
for
I feel
me
like we've been way spicier.
before, yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like this is pretty, like
Yeah.
this is like a 7-Eleven slushie or something. Um, Zay says there's always gonna be strings attached, though. Most men are gonna pressure women into sex, and women are going to give out of shame or
Mhm.
obligation just to have a traumatic experience with some
Shitty
dude.
dude.
Yeah, yeah, I don't think no strings attached exists for women. I I don't think
Yeah.
I don't think it is. I mean, I've had girlfriends who were like I'm not gonna say promiscuous in a pejorative way, like,
Right.
just in a
Just in a
factual way,
descriptive
like,
way. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
descriptive, yeah, like, they had sexual relationships with lots of men in a casual way, like, and I don't think they were like, um, like, traumatized by that, like, that worked for them, and I have
Uh-huh.
no judgment about
No.
that, but I think that is kind of outlier. I think
Yeah.
we talk about these things, like, even before you said, "Oh, are men capable of fulfilling, like, a women's emotional needs?" or something like that, or it was something like that.
Yeah, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, yeah, I guess there are, I guess, and I've always said it this way, like, there are those men out there. They're unicorns.
Mhm.
But to it's like in the same way that people win the lottery. Do people win the
Right.
lottery? Yeah, they do.
Yes.
Should you play the lottery? No, you should not.
No, it's not gonna be you.
It's not like a good way to invest your time as far as, like, investing your time trying to find a unicorn. That time be better spent, like, developing yourself, developing your own interests, developing
Mhm.
relationships and friendships with people who are not ever gonna try to use you for sex.
Yes.
Like, "Oh, hey, this is a great comment. Winning the lottery usually ruins people's."
That
That
is a great
too.
comment. Yeah.
I'm sorry if this stream is just I don't wanna traumatize you by talking about us hetero stuff,
Um,
but I know you did
not
sign up
traumatized
for
at
it,
all.
so okay. Do a chemistry test before meeting someone from an app. Go on a video
Mm.
chat. Oh, I like that idea.
Yeah, that's not bad at all.
Oh, that's definitely you gotta talk to the person. Video chat,
Uh-huh.
yeah. I mean, you're still probably gonna meet a creep, but
Probably.
you cannot just go straight from texting to meeting someone in person. That
Ugh.
sounds so damn dangerous. Not like that's the thing, because the most dangerous men are the most charismatic ones. So even if you, like, go on video chat and you're like, "Wow, this guy's really charismatic." You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
Why find a unicorn, the perfect man, when you can find a horse instead? Self-care. Totally.
That's so
Self-care is
great.
the best way you can spend your time.
Uh-huh.
100%.
I agree.
Or get a horse. I love horses.
Mhm. I grew up with horses my whole life.
I know.
Good times.
The gambling industry is racist AF. That is factually true. Charming men are dangerous.
Yeah, probably.
1000%. 1000%. This is like
I know. I just read that.
it's so dark. Dude, that I don't think we're saying this spicy takes. I think the chat has the
The
spicy
chat
takes.
is. No kidding.
Oh, well, there is I was looking up, like, oh, what are some feminist jokes? And there was like, um, why why do guys always talk about their this one, why do guys always talk about their crazy ex-girlfriends, but
Uh-huh.
girls never talk about their crazy ex-boyfriends?
Mm.
'Cause they're dead.
Right. Woof. That is dark.
That's dark. It's really dark. I don't know, that's not even worth laughing about, but
No.
I have a good one.
Okay.
Why are there Pop-Tarts, but there are no Mom-Tarts? Because of the
That's good.
patriarchy.
No!
Where does a where does a mansplainer get his water from?
A well, actually.
Yes! Ah.
Oh my god.
Uh,
That's I knew that one.
well,
That's so good.
actually okay, I actually like this piece of advice right here. Have only one expectation on a first date: to enjoy yourself. Or do I like that? I don't know, that's very, like, main character. But then, like, maybe we're designed to not to put the man's enjoyment ahead of our own.
Mhm.
I don't
Yes.
know, it's hard to think about enjoying yourself on a first date, they're so damn awkward. Focus on quality over quantity. Didn't they just tell us to, like,
Date, keep your
get
options
out there
open or
and
something.
no strings attached? Yeah.
Right?
Expect challenges and have support ready for when things get tough.
Not if, that's telling.
Oh, God. Embrace pessimism. Well, I'm all ears there. People are often shocked by the amount of disappointment and anguish that comes with dating. Then why do it? Ben and Jerry's. If it's not fun, why do it? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Like, I'm not going for a life full of disappointment and anguish right now.
Me neither. Peaceful island only.
Lily says, confession. I once went on a date with a guy at Chick-fil-A. I've
I've never
never,
been to a Chick-fil-A.
oh, me neither.
Look at us.
Christian chicken?
Yeah, for real.
Yeah, would you even be welcome at a Chick-fil-A?
Probably not. They donate to a lot of anti like LGBT stuff.
Uh, homophobia fried into the nuggies. Mmm, love that flavor.
Oh my
Ice
gosh.
Goddess says, I'd rather date myself. I can eat a burger and not feel like I have to cover my face. I can eat it aggressively.
Yeah, date yourself. Oh my god, that's so cute actually.
I love it.
Take yourself on dates.
I love it. And you know
Me
what?
too.
You people can't hear a conversation like this and like what's happening in the chat right now about women talking about, "I am perfectly content on my own. I do not
Yep.
need a man." They can't believe it. They will not believe that that's true. They'll say, "Oh, you just have cognitive dissonance and it's just because 'cause you're alone and like, you have sour grapes or
Yeah.
whatever."
Ugh.
Like,
Yeah, well,
and
people
yeah,
can't stand like a woman who is happy or successful or whatever, content. They can't stand that.
right. It's yeah, because a content woman doesn't make anyone money,
Mhm.
and she can't be used for things, and she can't be manipulated. She knows her worth,
Mhm.
you know?
I do know.
Oh, I like going to restaurants alone too.
Yeah, it doesn't bother me at all.
I love it, and they usually treat you so nice
I
too.
know.
Yes.
Yeah, I don't mind it at all. Where was I recently that I went? I don't know. I don't remember, but yeah, no, I don't mind it at all. I kind of like it. I'm just peaceful, do what I want, get what I want, enjoy myself.
I have to say
No
Sloane's comments tonight, MVP of the chat. Every
kidding.
chat, it's always someone different, but there's always someone who's just,
Who's
like,
on
going off.
fire?
Yes. Um, a content woman does not perform unpaid labor.
Amazing.
I love that.
Too.
Um Miku says they'll just
Oh, me
call
too.
you a bop if this is like some young people language, if you don't put
I
out
don't know.
immediately.
I don't know what that means. We're getting old, Lisa.
I know.
You know,
We're
I have recently
I'm a
like
geriatric millennial.
yeah, I have hit the stage in life where like I have heard young people say things and I have to Google it because I'm like, I don't what did, or like it'll Google the word and it's like whatever the word is, Urban Dictionary to like be like, what the fuck is this? I don't know. Also,
Uh,
but I did love because I have a sister who's 7 years younger than me. So like she's the last year of the millennials, 95. Um
yeah.
and so she's always like my go-to for like young people stuff. I'm like, what does this mean? Or what does that mean? And I loved my sweet, sweet moment of when I asked her what this slang word means, and she didn't know either. And I was like, oh,
Oh,
finally,
that's so wild,
she's in
yeah.
the same
She's aging
category as
out.
me.
Ugh. Expired. Beautiful comment, beautiful feminist comment here. I have heard that women are conditioned to determine their value through their relation to others rather than based on themselves as individuals, and men are the opposite.
Oh, amazing
Oh, that is
comment.
dropping a bomb. Yes. So true. Because it's always, "Oh, she's someone's sister, she's
Sister.
someone's mother, she's someone's wife."
She's someone. Yeah.
I heard someone say something like, "Women women really don't need men, but men do need women because women
Right.
perform so many, things
Yeah.
that make
Or
enable men to live an
I
actualized life," or whatever. Yeah, go ahead.
mhm. I was reading a thing or whatever. When you have these people who have lived to be like 99, 100, 101, whatever, and men always say the secret is to have a good woman by your side, and the women who reach those ages say to have because they hadn't ever gotten married.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yes,
Also,
that is such a
statistically,
great point.
um,
Yes, marriage
women's
does shorten your life.
that and women's happiness is shown to increase usually around 80 or so when their husbands start dying off.
That's wild.
Yes.
Yes.
Woof.
Very woof. Don't allow your phone to become the third wheel on your date. Well, that's just kind of good, like, being a human being.
Mhm.
Yeah, let's see, what else we got here? Ooh. Oh, men's journal? I think so.
Oh boy.
Men's journal. An article, sexologist, Emily Morse. What a title.
What a title.
What a title. All these articles are written by AI, I'm sure, by the way, guys. Right?
Probably. I would think.
Yeah, I wonder what ChatGPT has to say about all this. Get out of here. Get out of here, ads.
We could ask
Okay.
ChatGPT what it thinks of the good dating tips are.
Ugh, yeah. Week 1. The most intense part of dating? I wouldn't say that. You barely know the person.
Yeah, no kidding. How could it be?
Yeah, that's really weird. I remember, when I was in my adolescence and young adulthood, that there was, like, this rule that you had to have sex on the 4th date. Do you
Oh, I thought it
remember
was the
that?
third date.
Oh, okay. Maybe that's, like, because 'cause you're a little younger than me.
Oh, okay, maybe.
And, like, that just I remember being like, "Well, I guess that's just how it works." But now that
Ugh.
seems, like, insane. It's like
Yeah,
4 times of meeting someone? That's insane.
that's crazy to me.
You need to determine if you like the girl you are dating, not woman, by the way.
Right, right. Oh my God.
God forbid you date someone 18 or over.
Age appropriate.
Follow up after the first date, tell her you had a really nice time and show her you're interested. This is like, should you also wipe your ass?
Like,
Like, what the
yeah, you
hell
have to
kind of
be
advice is
told.
this?
You have to be told to do this to be nice.
Wash your hands after you go to the bathroom.
Oh,
I don't believe in the proverbial waiting 3 days and playing games. Yeah, please don't do that. That's oh my god.
oh.
My cheeks are hurting. Okay, let's see. Be
Be
yourself. I
yourself.
feel
I
like
don't know
men
about that.
do that.
Yeah.
It's women that don't do that. Take her out. God damn, these tips are really pathetic. Smell good, look good, and be confident.
I mean, yeah,
Yes, please
please
smell bad.
shower, bathe.
Take care of the first few meals. Not according to the New York Times. Yes, that's right,
Right?
folks. Of course, I've got a New York Times article on this topic.
It wouldn't be a stream without.
It wouldn't be a Lisa stream without
No,
who pays for dates.
for Gen Z. So when it comes to dating, the idea that men should pay still prevails in heterosexual courtship.
Now, is this
Interesting.
like a real this is a really interesting topic for us
Did you
radical
see
feminists.
that there's like a video that was been circling social media? Um, this man and a woman were on a date, a first date at a restaurant, and like
Okay.
she's trying to wind it down, and
Yeah.
she's got her phone like it's just sitting in her hand, but she's recording because like it's not going well.
Okay.
Um,
I
and
feel like I
so
might
like
have seen this.
yeah, so um she's saying like she's trying to wind it down, right? And she's saying, so like should I get my portion? And he's like, oh no 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 no, like I've got it, no problem. And she's like, oh okay, well thanks. Like she totally was willing and wanting to pay for her own whatever, but
Yeah.
she's like, okay, thank you. So she's like, I'm gonna get going. um and I don't know what the context is or why, but she's staying in a hotel, and so he asks, can I walk you back to your room? And
Ooh.
she says, "No, I'm not really comfortable with that." And he immediately turns on a dime and like is like, "Well, then you could pay for your own food then." And she was like I am not fucking on the first date, like, whoa. And he was like reaming her out and how she needs to pay for her own meal then, and like how could she do this to him? And it's like she offered in the first place to pay for her own food, but because she's not going to sleep with
Ugh.
you on the first date, you immediately turn on a dime, and it's like, ugh, it was so gross,
Well, that's
but
what we're
scary
talking
too.
about, like, that transactional,
Mhm.
like, and that is I actually think that this conversation about who should pay on a date, well, first of all,
Mhm.
I don't think women should be dating men. So, uh, you know,
Yep.
I think I've said that about 5 times in the stream, but okay, and a hypothetical date between a man and a woman,
Mhm.
what would the reason be for a woman to pay? Like, this is the brain rot, I guess, of, like, third wave feminism. I don't know what radical feminists said about this, or because a lot of them were separatists, right? I don't know, does radical feminism have anything to say about who pays on a date? 'Cause, like, I think this idea that, like, oh, it's empowering to put more effort in. You and I were talking about that, like, this idea that it's like, that's what liberal feminism is. It's this idea that, like, women should do more and not complain and, like, suck it up, and that's female empowerment.
Woof.
You know what I mean? Well, I, like,
Mhm.
literally specifically texted you something about that. What the heck was it? Hold on, I'm gonna go back. Here, dead air. Say something.
Um, I'm trying to read the chat, honestly. Sorry.
That's good.
There was a
Well,
comment I saw. Where was it? Oh, Zay said most men don't even want to pay for a $20 date at Chili's. Like, honestly.
ugh, you and I talk a lot.
I know.
I'm, like,
I know.
scrolling back.
Yeah.
It's always like,
Scrolling, scrolling, scrolling.
this is, like, from, like, 2 days ago. Oh, yeah,
You have to
let's see.
scroll infinitely.
Feminism is women having to put forth more effort than they already did and shutting up about it.
Mm.
Oh, I'm sorry, getting to put forth more effort because it's a privilege. That's what I said. But, you know why? Because in the comments of this article,
Uh-huh.
so, yeah, this is where you start to get into the sort of, like, FDSE type stuff, right?
Right.
Like, paying is a better sign that they are more generous. Well, the top, recommended comment on the New York Times article, if it still is the top comment. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so it's still the top comment with
Wow.
910 recommendations. Second comment,
Wow.
has, let me see if I can scroll here. Second comment has 666 recommendations, the devil's number.
The devil. Uh-huh.
Okay, but so 300 more almost people recommended this comment. So, quoting, I guess, the article, which I have not read, my date, a 27-year-old woman I matched with on Hinge, said gender equality didn't mean men and women should pay the same when they went out. Women, she said, earn less than men in the workplace, spend more time getting ready for outings, and I will also add, spend a lot on makeup and clothes and
On
all
yeah.
that stuff,
Yeah.
and pay more for reproductive care. So women have less money and they have to spend more money in the
More
dating
time and money.
process on all these other things. And
Yep.
this person's comment, based on this quote from the article, is run, young man, run.
Ugh.
That a woman should dare stand up for herself and say, "Hey,
Mhm.
from an economic perspective, I spent $200 on the dress I'm wearing tonight and $300 on the makeup that's on my face tonight so you could have something beautiful to look at. And I get paid less
Uh-huh.
than you doing the same damn job. And who's gonna pay for my gynecologist appointment? Me."
Yeah. Or the birth control or the condoms or whatever.
Yes.
Yep.
And if she
Yeah, a woman deigning
dares
to yeah.
to assert herself in that way, run, young man.
Run.
Find a woman who says, "Yes, I will split this. I will show up and be beautiful and be your arm candy and laugh at all your
Mhm.
dumbass jokes and not complain that I earn less than you. And I will also pay for your dinner." That's the woman
Lord.
you wanna be with, who's like the ultimate doormat.
Mhm.
I was
I
so
don't like
disgusted by that.
yeah, it is really, really shocking, honestly.
In 2024, like, I thought we were past this at this point.
Apparently not.
Like, because I'm saying, dude, third wave feminism, brain rot, right?
I
That women
know.
have to do all this extra shit and shut up about it.
And I can't even get dinner for it.
Right. This is that's like my inner FDS coming out, right? Because I do
Yeah.
think like it, I don't think women should be doing this whole process because they don't benefit
Yep.
from it.
Yep.
But look at the misogyny. This is the most agreed with opinion about
I know.
women who deign to stand up for themselves and
It's
say,
horrible.
It would just be nice if you paid for dinner because you make more money than I do."
Yeah. Well, I don't know, like, I it if you're going out for dinner and you're each paying for yourself, in what way is that a date?
Yeah, true.
Like, that's just 2 people going out and eating food. I don't know, like, I just and this isn't gender specific, but if a person asks another person to go out on a date, that
Right.
person I think should pay, and in most cases, it's the man, so
Mhm.
in heterosexual orientations, like, I don't know. And to put up such a fuss about it is so weird, like, if you can't buy your date or, like, your friend even, like, a meal, then, like, I don't know, it seems weird to me.
I agree. Men often do not
Aha.
understand the cost, both real and opportunity
Mm.
cost, women spend regularly in order to both compete with other women and appeal to men.
Oh. Appeal to men.
It gets into this weird sort of
Hmm.
like, yeah, like where FDS and red pill are this like weird.
Like horseshoe
No,
theory.
yeah, they are. They're kind of but at the same time they're like at odds with each other.
Mm.
Um because it's like, oh, a woman's saying, I'm like this prize and my time is what you are like paying for, right? To be in my
Mhm.
presence. And
Mhm.
that's sort of the FDS thing. Another thing I guess we could talk about this from a feminist perspective is like it, at what level is dating, marriage, etc., in that sense then different from prostitution?
Yeah, I've heard that conversation brought up a lot in like feminist circles too. Is
Yeah.
um, it's not really. It's not really
In the same way
different.
that men see women as a commodity, women see themselves as objects for sale.
Hmm.
And FDS is all about finding, like, the high value male or
High
whatever,
value
and he's
man. Yeah,
he's essentially the one who's going to pay the most to be with you, the highest bidder.
it's not too far from prostitution.
And that's the reason I really think fundamentally at its core, like, FDS is toxic and, like, this the whole idea is toxic.
Hmm.
The whole
No,
idea
for
of dating, I
sure.
mean. Yeah. Um,
Yeah, Irene says, wasn't it Dworkin or someone who said the housewife and the prostitute are two sides of the same coin? Lisa? Hello? Uh,
oh,
hello?
you
Uh-oh, I think Lisa's having tech issues, unless it's me. Oh no. Can anyone hear me? Okay. I think Lisa is having tech issues. Um, she just disappeared out of the stream. Uh, she was telling me earlier that she was having like her internet was really lagging like before we got on the stream. She was trying to load up some articles and stuff and she was telling us or telling me that things were lagging, so I'm guessing finally caught up to her. Also, I know that it was snowing pretty heavily where she is. So, um Tori's I can't feature Tori's comment, but she said too many hot takes for YouTube to handle. Lisa, I'll try to message her on Discord and see what happened. Internet. Um, and I can't share anything because I'm just the guest here, not the host. So I will. Oh, Lisa just messaged me. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Her internet, she doesn't know what's going on. Okay, Lily says marriage is kind of like prostitution, offering your services as a sex doll, maid, babysitter, and home chef in exchange for room and board. Woof. That is super bleak, like Zay says. I can't highlight comments because I'm the guest, not the host. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't know. What marital rape is the thing that had to be criminalized? Sloan says. It is Lisa's stream. We just live in it. Expired milk. Okay, Lisa's messaging me. Hold on. Um, I was gonna say something earlier, and now I can't remember what it was, but it was something about the exchange of dating and uh, the heck was it? Uh, Sorry, I can't type and speak at the same time, or else I'll say what I'm, whatever. Lisa says she's going to try to come back. um, so it was something I was thinking about in regards to the exchange that occurs in dating, and I just cannot remember what the heck I was going to say. Um, uh, of course, when I need my brain to work right now, it's not working. Uh, anyway, I saw a thing on Twitter the other day that was like, it was screenshots from a woman's TikTok, and she was talking about how like she's married to a man, and she was talking about how um she just gives her paycheck to her husband and he like handles everything like bills, mortgage, car payment, whatever. And like she just gives all of her money to her husband every 2 weeks when she gets her paycheck. And that really shocked me. Um, welcome back.
Hi, can you hear me?
Yes.
Like literally that is so crazy that the stream is still going because literally my whole computer just froze.
Oh, that's so crazy.
Like
Well, we've
my
been here the
whole
whole time.
I'm literally on a different computer now.
Oh my God.
uh yeah, that's so hilarious because I was like, "Oh, well, I guess it's over."
No, I was here the whole time. I thought it was my issue. And I was like,
No.
hello?
No,
Hello?
and it's like
Anyone?
it's always like my dumbass internet, right? But
That's what I was telling
um
everyone.
literally I think this time was my little old computer just got overwhelmed.
It was
That could
like, bye.
Yeah, that computer's from like 2014. That's
These takes
pretty
were too
old.
fire.
Yes, that's it. Takes for two fire.
Yeah.
Anyways, I don't have any of the stuff. Let's see. Let's
Oh,
see if
that's
this
fine. We're just chatting about like dating
yeah.
stuff. And also you and I have been on a thing lately where we've been looking at crazy trad wife stuff.
Yes. Like
I was just telling the
oh
chat.
yes.
I know.
I have so oh my gosh. When I get better internet, which at this point is probably never because I've literally been talking about it for like a year. We're
Years.
supposed to get like fiber internet here, right? Like they literally dug trenches like a year and a half ago or something. Anyways, um but I have a treasure trove of like YouTube shorts and stuff that I
Uh-huh.
was sending you. Like what were some of the ones I was sending you? They were amazing.
I know. I was just telling the chat of one I saw where this woman was like saying she gives every 2 weeks when she gets paid, she gives her entire paycheck to her husband and he takes care of everything. And like, that's just like the bills, the
How like
mortgage.
oh
She
my
just gives her paycheck to her husband every time she gets one.
that's so vile.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, thank you for bailing me out. I know I can always count on you to
Well,
hold down
I
the fort.
tried.
It's happened before.
Likewise.
Ballistic says that's why I'm against anyone being a stay-at-home wife. Actually, you end up completely financially dependent, and what happens if anything goes
Yeah.
wrong?
Big time. Then what?
Um, my older sister, who I'm going to talk about because she we are like totally estranged. I have no relationship with her at whatever whatsoever,
Mm-hmm.
and that's not my decision, but whatever. She's just a little different. Um, but she has been like a stay-at-home mom. She hasn't worked since she was like really young, like 23 or 4 or something like that. And she's in her late 40s now. And her husband was like cheating on her and she wanted to get divorced and
Mm,
it was like a totally horrible situation. Like the kids knew about it and stuff. It was like just like so cringy. And but she's never worked. Like she had a
yeah.
couple jobs, when she was younger, but she never had a career or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And she's totally dependent. And it's like, even when she was talking to my parents about it, it's like, well, what would you do? Where would you live? Like, how would you support yourself? Like, yeah, there's like child support and stuff, but
Yeah.
you
I
know,
saw a Reddit post recently, maybe yesterday actually. It was like an advice post or something, I don't know. And a woman said that oh God, get this. She was 25 and her husband was 27.
okay.
Um, they had 4 children already at those ages. And
Ugh.
she said that her husband met a gal at work, like a coworker, who was 19 or something, 18 or 19,
Ew.
and within like 2 weeks decided that he wanted a divorce. And she had been a stay-at-home mother this whole time. She didn't have a job, she didn't have any money at all. And she was like, I like, what am I supposed to do? I have 4 children. And it's like, oh man, he did everything like financially, and now she's
That's
oh, it's
almost
so
like
sad.
so like rage baity, like
Ugh, yeah, it was really sad.
you never know what you're reading on there if it's true or not, but I do
Mm,
believe a lot of stuff on there is true.
hmm.
And
Yeah,
certainly
certainly
like
some is karma farming for sure, but
yeah, but also like even if that specific post is not true, it's like no doubt there's tons of stuff like that happens all the time.
of course.
Yes,
Sad.
I have one sister that I talk to and one sister that I don't.
Well, I only have one sister and we are extremely
I
close.
know, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Women are glorifying trad wifery because they are tired of capitalism. So brainwashed by misogyny that they would rather become a trad wife instead of being critical of capitalism. That's really interesting.
Hmm.
I think that I don't know, do you want to talk about that at all?
Yeah, I'm down for anything.
Yeah, like it's so funny because trad wifery is like what capitalism is built on. And
Exploiting the labor of, yeah, yeah,
the
yeah.
free labor of women. So like it's almost like instead of that's like a cognitive dissonance thing. Like it's too painful to confront the system that we live in that is so horrendous and exploitative and everything.
Hmm.
Just like literally go as deep into it as you possibly could, you know,
Hmm.
instead of like criticizing it.
Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's a great point.
Irene said capitalism actually wants trad
Yeah,
wives.
of course. Oh yeah, like I think one of the things, I don't know if I this was one of the things I sent you, but that it was a parody thing and it was like how this tradwife thing, they make it out like they're doing this edgy, like subversive
Right.
thing because feminism has all been all about like have it all, the career, be it the
Yeah.
career and the mom, which I think is total horseshit. um for the last like 30, 40 years or whatever. So then these trad wives are like, I'm not going to have it all, I'm not going to do the career, I'm just going to be a stay-at-home mom. Wow, I'm just so edgy, I'm so subversive, I'm like doing what every other woman is telling me not to do, because
Mm.
for good reason, it's like
Yeah,
very
and
risky to like
they can also get like the oh god, what is the term? Uh, what is it? Prosecution complex? Like,
persecution.
yes. Jeez. Words. Persecution complex, right? Because like they make it out to be like they're so persecuted for choosing to be a wife and a mother. And it's like, where on earth is that occurring?
Right, exactly. It's like you're literally doing the thing that everyone wants you to do.
Yeah.
Oh, but we have heard this, you and I.
Uh-huh.
Like, we have heard this for in years of doing feminism that it's like, you know, that
Mm-hmm.
women becoming mothers, it's like, oh, they are so persecuted, right? Or women, um, like showing themselves off sexually, like
Yeah.
whatever that kind of stuff, self sexualization. Oh, we're so hated for doing that. It's like,
It's like,
you're really
where?
not. Everybody wants you to do that. You're just doing what everyone wants you to do.
Uh-huh. It's very weird.
Women belong in the kitchen. That's what I'm doing. And I am so persecuted.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
So
that'll
silly.
teach them. That'll teach them.
I know. Eyeliner sharp enough to kill a man.
Oh my gosh. Lipstick, the color of the blood of my enemies.
Uh-huh. Interesting comment from a bunch of bananas.
This feels like a result of the younger generation not growing up with stay at home moms as their moms, so they have a fantasy of what it must be like to be one. I think that is really interesting. I mean, yeah, of course the fantasy
Oh,
of
yeah,
it
the
is
fantasy and
very nice.
the romanticization of it, of being at home with your children and making cookies and like whatever. Like it seems really nice, but it's fucking hard and you don't have any like time to yourself, any freedom for yourself. You're like slaving away cooking and cleaning and running after children. Like the reality of it is very difficult, I'm sure.
That's it. And again, like bringing it back to that idea of propaganda, like that's where
Yes.
that comes from. Like we have to be sold the fantasy, otherwise no one would do it. Like
Right.
or fewer people would do it. Like I did say earlier, a lot of women want babies, and I do think that there's like an inherent want for babies. That's
Sure.
my red pill, black pill, whatever you want to.
Hmm.
I don't care. Like I do think that's true.
Well, yeah, reproduction is a,
Yeah, it's a strong drive for like
yeah,
everybody. That's why women will put their personal safety behind their possibility of giving birth to a child.
right.
You know.
Yeah, and the like trad wife propaganda is such that like it's so romanticized, but
Yeah.
the reality is so like even the perfect TikTok trad wives with their perfectly rollered hair and their um like picnic table fabric dresses. What is that fabric called?
Oh,
The
gingham.
checkered print. Yeah, gingham dresses. Like even their children are like throwing a tantrum off camera, right? Like you don't see
That's
like
it.
they present it to TikTok and whatever like it's just this idealistic, lovely, wonderful existence. But like
I
it's not that. Even like the reality is not that despite what they present.
and I almost wonder if like Gen Z digital natives whatever like they realize that everything online is like curated and it's fake and it's not real?
No, they don't.
Like
Digital
there's
literacy is really, really bad among young
there's
people.
this one guy, and he's Canadian, actually. I don't know if he's gay. I think he might be gay. His name is Mackenzie William. Have you ever seen his videos? He's like huge.
No.
He has some nice little condo up in Canada, and he makes these videos where he's like making his bed. Somebody in the chat will have seen this, and, yeah, he'll do like my morning routine, and it's like super stereotypical like gay man, whatever. Like he's like he like irons his sheets and stuff. You should look
Oh
it up.
god,
It's
I'm
like
looking at his Instagram right now.
yes, and he has like, this elaborate like coffee routine and takes his vitamins and does his skincare and like
Yeah,
rides
men
his
have that
bike and all
luxury.
this stuff. And like
Oh god.
and it's like hilarious because he's written in his comments like it takes me 2 days to film a morning routine.
Oh, so
And
it's not
like
really a morning routine then, is it?
yeah, exactly. Like anyone who films a morning routine, it's like anytime you film anything, I know this because I've
You're
done it.
curating it to make it look as simple and easy and nice and wonderful and whatever.
You can't do the thing and film the thing at the same time.
No, you have to like set up the thing and then angle the
Ex-
camera and then reshoot it because you don't like that. Like,
exactly. Like anytime you see someone like here was my exercise routine today, right? It's like that was not your exercise routine. That
right.
in between all of those things you did, you were setting up the camera and
Hmm.
yeah, and it's like it took you 3 times as long as it normally would or whatever. But and this is what I'm saying, like, does Gen Z, like, get that? That, like, what they're seeing is totally fake. Like,
No, they don't.
no one who shows a restocking video or, like,
Oh, are the
you
bane
know
of our existence. We hate those.
I know. Or whatever, like, I'm cleaning my house video or any of this kinda trad wife stuff. Like, what you are seeing is, like, so fake. Just by
Extremely.
its own the nature of it, like, it does not exist in real life. Yeah, yes, this is exactly it, Tori. The shot of them waking up in bed yawning.
Right.
Get out of bed, set up the camera, get back in bed. That is
Oh,
sums it up so perfectly.
time. Sorry,
I
I am looking at this man's Instagram and it's insane.
know, it's totally insane. Like, it's actually very watchable, but it's like, yeah, his quote unquote, "his life is so perfect," but it's like It's it's not. Those are films that are, like, highly,
Right.
highly curated. His life is not like that.
No.
His life is not like that at all because no one's life is like that. But
Oh my
especially not his
goodness.
because he had to spend 30 minutes or whatever setting up each of those shots. Like, to
And
say
ironing his pillows.
yes, to say, "Oh, it takes me 2 days to film a morning routine that looks like it's supposed to take an hour," you know?
Right.
That's so
Oh boy.
insane. Anyways, um, so yeah, and I wonder about that, like we're saying with trad wives and stuff and all this stuff that like younger generations they grew up in daycare, you know, and so they do
Mhm.
have this like romantic idea of, oh, I'll be a stay-at-home mom. They're not thinking about the fact that
Yeah.
it's 168-hour a week job or whatever, you
Right,
know.
like, the floors have to be washed, and the dishes have to be unloaded, and the kid needs a bath, and
And
you're
no
out
one
of
is
toilet
gonna say
paper,
thank
and
you ever. You're not gonna get
right.
paid a single dime for it.
Mhm. Uh,
Existential too. It's like how they film themselves crying trying to just stop crying,
man,
set up all your shit, your ring light, etc., and start crying again.
I think there is nothing more dystopian really than people who film themselves crying.
Truly.
How can you be crying and then your instinct is, "Oh, better switch the camera on." That is so
Because I
freaky
think
to me.
people, just to like devil's advocate, like they want to show something real and authentic or
Real,
whatever. But then
yeah.
it's like by its own nature, it's not, you know, it's
Did you see
contrived.
that one thing that got, like, a woman, like a family mommy blogger? It was a couple years ago. She didn't edit her video very well when she uploaded it because she didn't cut out the part in the video where she's telling her son to cry for the thumbnail. They're in the car and like
Oh my
he is
god.
crying. The child is genuinely crying about something and she's like pointing the camera at his face and she's being like, "No, no, no, like do it like this for the thumbnail. Like this, like this." And he's actually for real crying and she didn't cut that clip out of the video when she uploaded it.
That's
Oh,
wild. That's
yeah,
wild.
it's so messed up.
Oh, yeah.
So scary. Oh, Sloan commented all those family vloggers need to go to jail. I think California recently just passed a bill about
Good.
like kid fluencers, they call them.
Yeah. Oh.
I'm pretty sure they just passed some kind of a bill about that. I'm not exactly sure what it was, but
Okay, so my original topic for this stream was I wanted to talk about all this dystopian technology like
yeah.
AI, deep fakes, and all this kind of stuff. And like you and I talked about, we have talked about it. And then I saw a Reddit post that I was like, oh my God, this is like literally exactly what we've been saying. That was like how AI is the new burqa because
Right.
it
Oh, that
just
post was so
forces
gross.
women to be like we cannot show ourselves otherwise there will be porn of us, you know,
Uh,
which is like that. It's so existentially horrifying that I can't like meditate on that thought for very long,
mhm.
because it's just like it's totally horrifying. And then I've read that there are like, you know, databases out there where you could like look up a woman and where she lives and like I don't know if somebody's already made porn out of her images or whatever. Like
Right.
it's like totally
Oh.
horrifying. Um and then it's like, yeah, I think that the main thing I have to say about it, and I was gonna do a video. I've been posting videos on Tuesday. I've been trying to, and then I've
Mhm.
been dealing with this like horrible exhaustion, and
Mhm.
so I did not have the energy to like sit down and do that. And eventually, I will talk about this, possibly Friday stream, possibly next Tuesday's video. Anyways, but yeah, what was my point? Like this it's like existentially horrifying, this idea of that AI is going to make the internet unusable for women. And I think I've always like this is not a new thing. I mean, people have been making this deep fake pornography and stuff for like years. I think it's come up because of Taylor Swift like recently or whatever. So
Mhm.
it's like more of
Mhm.
a conversation right now. And then AI is like this totally like existentially horrifying technology. And it's like of course it was always going to be used for pornography and specifically
Yep.
CP, you know,
Yeah.
pornography. But what am I trying to say? Like I have a point that I'm trying to make about this. That oh
Mhm.
yeah, like I I've always felt like putting myself out and my face and everything because I do that, right? That it's like I don't I don't want to go back to where I can't like express my opinions, you know? And
Mhm.
yeah, we have some spicy opinions according to some people, you know, that would
Yep.
make you a target. And but what's the alternative? Like wear a burqa? You know what I mean?
Uh,
Like wear a figurative burqa.
yeah, yeah,
Or
yeah.
literal, actually, you know, there are cameras everywhere. It's like you're even if you don't intentionally put yourself on the internet,
Mhm.
your image, you know, if you walk around an urban area, you're on camera.
On camera.
So I just I don't believe in that world. And that's why like I myself, I feel like I have to be out there, you know? It's like I feel compelled like to combat that idea that women should shut up and hide and but men can do whatever they want because they're just men and no one's going to attack them.
Mhm.
And I hate that idea. I feel like that's the idea women have been pushing against since like the beginning of time. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just going off. Sorry.
Yeah, please go off. I'm absorbing.
Yeah. That's what I want to like. I just have such a mess of thoughts about it. That's why I couldn't sit down and come up with anything really coherent to say today about it, but it's like the basic idea. And then I know you and I have talked about this kind of recently too, in that context of, you know, that like women in our audience say, right? Like they don't
Mhm.
do what we do or like they don't show their face or their name or whatever. And like
Mhm.
it's like I have totally two feelings about that. That like one, I totally get it because there's a self-preservation to it, and I think
Right.
I strongly believe a woman should be able to set her own boundaries wherever she wants, and that's it. Like, no is a full sentence and stuff. But at the same time, it's like these women want change, you know, and but they like want someone else to do it.
Mhm.
And they may be quietly doing things in real life. I don't know. I don't know, you know?
Mhm.
Um,
Mhm.
and that's like it frustrates me as someone who like puts myself out there that it's like it would be so much easier if there were like thousands of us instead of like two of us, you know?
Oh, I know.
But at the
I
same
know.
time, like I get it. Like I fully respect that women want to stay anonymous because of this stuff. Like it is
Yeah.
scary. I was gonna do this as my stream last Friday, and I might do it for my stream this Friday. But yeah, talk about deep fakes and there was even a crazy story in the New York Times. Like this woman, she was she was on a parole board,
Oh boy.
and so they would have the parole hearings online, like on
Okay.
video on
Like,
Zoom
yeah,
or
Zoom.
whatever.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
something like that. And people took her face and they made pornography out of it.
Like,
You know, they've take like Taylor Swift, it's like, who cares, right? It's Taylor Swift in a sense. Like it's Taylor Swift. Obviously, Taylor Swift is not like doing pornography,
mhm.
right? And it's disgusting and it's traumatizing. And if
Right. And
Taylor Swift is
further,
traumatized by it, let me finish.
yes,
That
sir.
she's totally allowed to be traumatized. But you take a woman who's not famous,
Mhm.
some of this AI porn is so realistic that
Yes,
yeah,
and life ruining. And like, for example, like we're in no way saying it's okay what's happened to Taylor Swift, but
no,
the reality is like millions and millions and millions of people will come to her defense
right,
and do
and
everything
rally.
to report it and get taken down and blah blah blah. Nobody's doing that for the woman on the parole board.
Yes.
She has no
Yes, oh, yes,
recourse.
exactly, and there have been women who, like, literally became unemployable because someone
Yes.
took their still photo off of, like, LinkedIn or whatever because they didn't like that woman for some reason or just because randomly because it's funny and it's hilarious or whatever to these
Yep.
14-year-old boys or whoever the hell is doing this, like, sick ass men. And like people are like, oh, they wonder why we like hate men or get mad at men or whatever. It's like, ugh. Anyways, Yeah, and then like these women cannot get a job because when you Google that woman's name,
That's what comes up. Yeah.
yes, and she had nothing to do with it.
Yep. Oh my
It
god,
is
it's
totally infuriating.
so
Like,
scary.
I don't know.
Really
I just got
scary.
very impassioned there for a moment.
I love it.
I think it should be a men-free internet. That's what I really think. Imagine, and like,
Mm,
if you just take a moment and imagine using the internet and there are no men to troll. It's like, it's so utopian. You know, the
imagine.
word utopia means a place that can never exist.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, there's that.
Yeah, we need legislation about it. But the problem
Mm,
is even if you have legislation, these people, they have VPNs in other countries,
yep.
or they literally are in other countries. And then what do? You can't do anything. That's why I really do believe the internet is rapidly becoming completely unusable. And within a very short time, like probably
Yeah.
under 2 years, it will be virtually unusable because of AI. Another point I want to make is like YouTube, my feeling, the future of YouTube is it's going to be, it is currently, it's not going to be, it is currently so easy to produce AI content that
Hmm.
YouTube is going to be absolutely flooded with AI content, and whether like YouTube servers can like even keep up with it. But as a user, it's going to be very hard to find content actually made by human beings. And that's
Yeah.
in the near future. Like that's not going to take very long for that to
No,
happen
not at all.
because quote unquote creators, like people using AI to create like AI content, um, they have a huge incentive because it takes no time and no money to make it, but they can
Right.
make money off of it. So, like, the profit margin is enormous, even if they make very little, you know, by through ad revenue. So there's no question that that's the direction things are going to move to, where like YouTube is flooded. It's not going to be usable. There is this thing called dead internet theory, and I think it's as of around like 2015 or 2016, but it's saying like most of the content on the internet is of such poor quality that you really can't like search for anything and get any reliable information anymore. And it's just going to get worse. That's People were saying that in 2015, 2016. But like if I Google something and I find an article, like you even like trust what you read now? I don't.
No, not really.
Even on there was I was reading a New York Times article recently, and someone in the like one of the top comments was like, this sounds like it was written by AI. And it's like,
That's
how would
creepy.
you know that it wasn't?
Yeah, I don't suppose that
How
there really is any way to tell.
Yeah, how would we know, even if good name journalists like aren't using AI? Why wouldn't they be? Everyone has an incentive to it. Shortens the time. Some people have
Mm,
suggested it to me. I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm so tired. I don't have like the energy to put a video together." Oh, why don't you just type your ideas into ChatGPT and have them produce a video script for you? You could even have it based on the scripts that have already been on your channel.
that's creepy.
Yeah, it can even make it in your own tone of voice. I don't mean like, you know,
Mhm.
audio, but like
The
the
audio tone,
tone that
yeah.
I write in. Yeah.
Yeah.
Can make it sound like you. It's totally insane. I don't
I
know.
know. It's so
It's like I have so much to say about it that it's like overwhelming actually.
please go off if you want.
Anyways, I'm just going off. We should
It's
wrap
okay.
up.
Okay.
Yeah, there's AI influencers on Instagram that have like millions of followers.
Ugh.
I do this too.
Oh,
I
yeah, yeah,
act
yeah, I do it too.
I actually like Reddit, but that's where you get like, well, you
Actual discussion or
you actually get actual discussion, but you don't know if the people on there are experts. But
certainly.
usually most of the stuff that I'm searching for, it's like, yeah, I'm looking for kind of people's opinions on things and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
Yeah. I yeah, go ahead.
I was just gonna say it's so weird. Like in the chat earlier, we were talking about how like the AI stuff has come so rapidly too. Like I feel like a year
Mhm.
ago, I kind of was hearing a little bit about AI.
Yes.
And within the span of a year, it's like AI musicians, AI influencers, AI everything. And it's like, hold on a second. We
Well,
just barely started hearing about this and it's already like,
there was a great comment. Hold on. I literally have to turn on my other computer because I want to read it to you. But um yeah, it is coming rapidly. I know you and I did a stream that was like Chat GPT,
yeah. And that was,
like
I
in
know
the
this
like
was
summer or
December.
something.
No, it
Oh,
was December because I know where I was when I was pet sitting.
oh.
It was December of last, so 2022. And
Yeah.
that was like really, that was like one of the first times I really had ever heard of like this AI stuff.
Yes.
And that was
Okay.
December of 2022. And now look where we are.
All right, listen, I'm going to read you a comment. Don't read the chat, just listen to me, okay?
Yep.
This AI business model reminds me of an old fable about a pig and an oak tree. Having devoured all the acorns, the pig starts digging at the roots of the oak tree without the ability to lift its snout to see where the acorns come from.
Oh,
Humans create, AI consumes. If humans are not able to create, there will be nothing new for AI. Obviously, a new system is needed to protect new human content. And that's a really good point, that if humans stop creating, AI will just be based on other AI.
oh,
Like it just comes to
yeah,
only reference itself, because right now AI references things humans have created. But if humans lose the incentive to create because they're
create.
not getting paid for their stuff or whatever, um, or they're getting pushed out because like 99% of the content's AI, there's just no play, you're not going to get paid, right? Like one way or the
Right.
other. Either the AI is going to steal your shit, or you're not going to get the ad revenue you used to get because it's all going to AI now. So then what? Then AI just bases its content on other AI. And
That's
it's,
so fucking weird.
yeah, dude, I swear to God, the internet is freaking dead, man. Like, it is just like
Mm.
dead. It's totally unsettling. Oh yeah, let me just read you the first like 3 paragraphs. I saved this. When the Louisiana Parole Board met in October to discuss the potential release of a convicted murderer, it called on a doctor with years of experience in mental health to talk about the inmate. The parole board was not the only group paying attention. A collection of online trolls took screenshots of the doctor from an online feed of her testimony and edited the images with AI tools to make her appear naked. They
Oh my
then
God.
shared the manipulated files on 4chan, an anonymous message board known for fostering harassment and spreading hateful content and conspiracy theories. So she was just doing her job.
Oh my
It happened to be that her
God.
employer like broadcasted it on the internet because it's like whatever.
Yep.
And now there's naked pictures of her.
Yeah. Mm.
Yeah, all those image hosting websites, and I know there are like people in communities adjacent to ours who like use them rabidly. They
Mm-hmm.
are literally the most toxic shit on the internet. It's like the
Yeah.
lowest of the low. And like
Yeah.
I know you and I have been spoken about on them, and sometimes favorably too, oddly enough. But yeah, awful.
I'm so
Um
upset.
I know, I'm sorry. I know this is
No,
a
no, no, no.
like lighthearted.
No, no, no. It's good. It's just, yeah, stressful to think about all this shit and
It
like the
is.
inescapability of it.
The other day, I went offline for, like, 24
Good
hours.
for you.
It was oh, I had my phone off. I was on the computer a little bit doing work and
Mhm.
stuff, but I had my phone totally off, like, I turned it off, and I had it off for, like, a day and a half, I think, and I felt so calm and so peaceful. And so much of, like, I feel like what I consume is just total, like, nonsense. It's like garbage, basically. Scrolling. Anyways. Existential.
Mm.
If someone made AI porn of me, it's not my naked body. I mean, I no, I kind of feel the same way, like, I'm kind of like, "Eh."
Right. Like,
Also,
it's not
like,
real, but the consequences of it are real.
I never Google myself, I never read anything about myself, I know a lot of horrible stuff has been written about me and stuff, and, like,
Yeah,
that's
it's better to never look
I
at
never
that
look.
either.
I never engage with it. I know other people who, like, they read the gossip about them or whatever, I never do that.
Never. I don't care.
Never.
No. Oh.
Um Wait, Tori said Valentine's Day stream content existential doom. It's kind of like where we always
That's the
settle,
vibe.
I feel like, it's like yeah.
Yeah, that's
Alright,
where
we're
we end
gonna
up.
wrap up. Everyone is falling
Yeah,
asleep.
everyone's going to bed.
Okay. Yeah, yeah, old ladies.
Well, Ballistic said it's midnight where she is.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Where
where
could
in,
she
like, the
be?
middle of the Atlantic?
Or South America, maybe.
Yeah, I think this is the idea Adrian says, Adrian, our resident male ally. Well,
Right?
technically true. I could see it being crushing. Yeah, that's the point. Like, it
That's
doesn't
right.
matter if it's really you. It's like, well, and also, like I said, a lot of the stuff is so realistic. Like, someone who hasn't seen you naked is not going to know the difference.
Right. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Oh, sigh. Good.
Ah,
Oh, yeah.
great comment.
Okay.
Oh, all right.
Well, thank you for
Thanks.
joining me, impromptu
Yes,
streaming.
I'm so
Well,
glad you.
what do you have coming up in the works? You have a stream coming up?
Yes, that I'm gonna bully you into joining me for.
Oh, I'm gonna be glad to join you.
I was gonna do it tomorrow, but then we decided to do this tonight. So probably
Yeah.
next week. Oh,
Okay. Yeah.
next week on Wednesday, I'm not working. I could do a daytime stream if
Oh,
you
that would
were
be sick.
interested.
Yeah, I would be down for sure.
Okay, so it's a Black History Month because that's what we're in.
Yeah,
But it's women that you have most definitely never heard of.
that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love that.
So that maybe next Wednesday, either daytime or evening, not sure, but
I am always ready to learn. Your streams are always educational. Are you gonna do slides and stuff?
well, of course.
Oh, yes. I love that. Awesome.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, everyone have an awesome Valentine's Day.
Mhm.
And
Eat some
I don't
chocolate.
yeah, I mean, like,
Hug a
just
teddy bear.
yeah, know that we love you and,
Mhm.
um, yeah, f love yourself. Whether you're in a relationship or not, like, you yourself are the most important person in your world.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this was great fun. I'm gonna have to go back and read the chat, and also sorry about, like, my internet dying
Oh, no
middle of the
worries.
stream. That was so embarrassing.
Hey, it
Um,
happens.
yeah. Okay. Bye,
All
everybody.
right. Okay, bye.
Bye.